Hey everybody, I'm Ben, and today I'm going to show you how to make this bench using only 2 tools.
I wanted to start off by making some of the longer cuts and edges to the bench seat. So I cut out 2 pieces, 5 feet each, and 1 shorter piece that's going to hold the legs together later on. Now these shorter pieces are about 14 inches each and are going to be the sides of the bench seat and some supporting struts. I needed 6 in all, so I went ahead and cut everything out. After all that, this was the waste that I had left over, but I actually ended up cutting out this piece to hold the legs together later on. Next, I started screwing together the frame and the bench seat using some of these right angle clamps. They aren't necessary, but they definitely help with keeping everything where you want it when screwing things together. All I had to use here were some deck screws. They don't require pilot holes, which you can still do, but they do a really good job at pulling the wood together on their own. And now we have our frame. I marked out 1 foot intervals on the frame and lined up my supporting pieces with that. Then I screwed everything in on each side. It was about 100 degrees on the day that I did this. Make sure to stay hydrated. I then measured the dimensions on the end side of the frame so that I could make my next cuts to fit. Put what I had done aside and took those measurements to cut out the 3 pieces that would be the bench seat. I flipped this part over to do a test fit of all the pieces, measured where the middle is, and then attached just the middle piece. Flipped it back over, and then used a 1-inch spacer to help me keep everything even while I screwed in the rest of the bench seat. I wanted to use these 4x4s that I had as the legs, but my saw didn't cut deep enough, so I actually had to make shallow cuts on each side until it popped off. And I did that for all 4 legs. Now you don't need 4x4s for this project. To make some strong legs, you can just attach 2 2x4s together and it will still be about the same size and still be able to hold up the bench. I cut down the other piece I needed to hold the legs together and added some pocket holes so I could screw these into the legs. Now there are a lot of pocket hole jigs out there and you don't even need one for this project, but this one is only about $20 and gets the job done. If you haven't used one of these, what you can do is set the depth of the drill bit here and clamp the blue piece to the wood. What you can also do is hold the jig up to the side of your wood to get an idea where the depth of the bit needs to be, and also slide it back and forth to know where you want to clamp it. I used some scrap wood as a spacer to make sure the legs were held together the same way. I then attached the longer piece from earlier to complete the leg assembly. Before I moved on, I wanted to do a test fit of the top and bottom, and as you can see here, everything was pretty snug so far. Once I established that, I moved on to coating everything with a weatherproof seal since this was going to be outside. I let it sit 48 hours and then moved it to its new home. As soon as that was done, I secured everything in place with 4 screws around the edges. And we have our finished bench.
You like that build? It only took about a day to put everything together. I did end up going back though and sanding off a few of the rough edges and putting on a coat of lacquer just because the 2x4s by themselves were still too rough and I wanted to make sure nobody got any splinters. Now, if you've got any suggestions or if you like this video, definitely leave a like down below and comment. If you want to see some of my other woodworking or making videos, definitely subscribe and check out what I've got already. Other than that, have a great day.